cities with dyke mayors. They spray the pipes major. Don't play with your life, player. Or shake the dice, player. But if you got a quarter, then stay away from toddlers. These bitches are fight promoters. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Train your toddler. Please train your toddler. Whippings, timeouts, take her allowance. Cause on what she will destroy your life if you allow it. Fuck it, I'm tired of rapping. Yo, low, bring in the choir. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare.
Niggas need to stop giving these bitches all the attention. That's why niggas is dying now. When these hoes get horny, niggas die. Hoes get horny, niggas die. Watch, every die. We gotta start saying fuck these bitches, man. If you fucking with a cool female, that's all good. But if you fucking with a bitch, you need to break her ass and shake her ass.
Man, welcome to the Dirty Folks. Yo. Welcome to the Dirty Folks Daycare. I am your tolerologist, Dirty Folks. I appreciate y'all for being here. Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me, man. One in the chat if y'all can hear me, man. EQ ain't telling me if I can be heard. Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me, man. If so, I'm back on, baby. I'm back on StreamYard if y'all can hear me. I mean, on OBS. So, I'm act like y'all can hear me. But if y'all can't hear me, that's gonna be messed up because it's gonna mess up my whole show, man. Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Volume low. Alright. So, I found out what was wrong with the StreamYard, with the OBS. Can't hear? Alright. So, fix that real quick. Man, apparently, guys, the problem was I ain't EQ'd right. So hopefully I can EQ it all the way up to the point that it started crazy. Background. Alright, can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? I probably should have done a show before this show, just for audio check. But, yeah. He said, I ain't following this. That's what it is. But at least y'all can hear me. Alright. Alright, so there you go. Alright, welcome to the Dirty Folks Daycare. Yeah, I know, man. I know. I gotta work out the EQ. I don't have no sound tech. You know what I'm saying? I did a couple of it's about where I put the mic and everything. Hold on, we gonna work it out. Cause I don't like going on StreamYard. Plus I'm almost out of StreamYard minutes because I don't rock with StreamYard. That's not why I bought OBS. Alright, check this out. I got a new mic, bro. So when I got the new mic, apparently I got to EQ things right. That's what they told me when I went to the show yesterday. You got it? Y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear? We good? We good. I hear a little echo. You know what I can do to get rid of that echo? Watch this. Thank you, guys. This is going to be a great show, by the way. I was on time, but we still late because my audio. Watch this, though. Turn the mic and the monitor off. Not good. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. Can y'all hear me now? Y'all should be able to hear me now. So what I did is I shut down the monitor in the studio. I mean the mic in the studio. So we just riding with so y'all can hear me, but I can't hear me. So maybe that's for the best. Maybe that's for the best. Let me see if I can turn it up a little more. Since I ain't on the mic. Better? Better? Alright, so I can't hear me, but y'all can hear me. But it don't matter if I hear me, because I'm the one talking, so I know what I'm going to say before I say it. It's cool. I bet. So now I can turn the speakers up a little bit, too. So y'all can hear the speakers. I bet. We ain't here, gang. Gang, man. We ain't here, tribe. Alright, I'm already late, so let's get straight to the show. Alright, so like and sub, but y'all come in, man. Like and sub. Send your heart. Donate to the daycare. Man, for the people that left, come back, niggas. Come back. We back in this. All right, check this out, man. This show is a special request, by the way. What about Long Duck Long and Extinction? Hey, check this out. This was a special request by the little homie. He sent me this video, and we're about to go through it. And when I saw it, I said to myself, actually I said to him, I was like, it's not real. Check this out. Let me show y'all something. Because I said I'm going to have to break down, once again, how everything is Boomer's fault. Normally I say everything's Tyler's fault, but Boomers and Tylers are kind of interchangeable. This all started with the Boomers. So, let me make this bigger so y'all can enjoy the video. So the caption says, when my boyfriend found out that Korean pregnancy is 0.7% and that they'll be extinct. Let me explain something to you guys real quick. The reason that Koreans have a low birth rate, the reason they can't reproduce themselves is because of free love boomerism. True story. So what ended up happening was, in the 1960s, through all the free love, because Korea is one of those countries, especially South Korea, are one of those countries that are heavily influenced by American culture. You know, I got this thing for if it don't stay still. Anyway, heavily influenced by American culture. So when Americans were doing the free love, free sex, anti-authority, Korea followed. So since the 1960s, they had a strong push for contraceptives and birth control. A very strong push. It wasn't quite a mandate, but it was close to one. So by the 1980s, they had a low reproduction rate. They've been fighting this for the last 40 years, since the 1980s. So you tell your people to use contraceptives, to use birth control, to use UW patches or whatever you call it, UV. I don't remember. IW, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. In coochie rings, whatever you call the vulva rings, whatever you call the vulva rings. Anyway, you tell them to practice birth control. They practice birth control. It works. But now your birth rate is low because you practice birth control. All right. Subsequently, that's happened everywhere else in the world. Korea, it has the lowest birth rate, but it's happened everywhere. There is no nation that has more kids, that reproduce more than the baby boomers. no matter where you are. We complain about that now, about having to pay Social Security, knowing we won't never get Social Security because of the boomers. It was just so many people being born after World War II. That's a global phenomenon. That's just not a Korean phenomenon. Korea could easily just be like, birth control pills, we're gonna double the rate. Girls gonna be irresponsible and they'll double their birth rate. You know what? I'm on StreamYard, bro. I'm back on OBS. I'm back on OBS. I can't even highlight it. But if I could, I would, Royce. I ain't gonna lie. Royce said birth control works for everyone except Keisha and Tamika. Hey, it's funny, but it's not factual. As a matter of fact, Keisha and Tamika are the only women who have more abortions than live births, bro.
My congeniality is fucked. I have no sensors and I need to be stopped.
Actually, there should be at least anywhere between 20 to 60 million more black people. Keisha just don't like the birth control pill. She does post-sex birth control. She has abortions and Plan B pills. But they kill a lot of kids. So, killers love killers. That's why they fuck with thugs. Their irresponsibility shows you what the world population would be if everybody else wasn't more proactive on the front end to prevent pregnancy. They just wait until they get pregnant and go to the chop shop, But it still should be 20 to 60 more black people than it is because they go to the chop shop at a rapid rate. You figure, man, there's 27 million. Yeah, it's 28 million black women, which means there's about 19 or 20 million black women of birthing age between the ages of 13 and up. You don't see 20 million black kids born every year. You don't see that. You see about 1.2, 1.7, something like that. But these bitches they doing numbers on the abortion. They doing 1 million abortions a year. These bitches, they eating up the killers, bro. They kill crazy. So, yeah. But with that being said, if Korea takes away their birth control policy, there will be no Korean birth crisis. Just wouldn't be. Stop getting the birth control, shorties get pregnant. But then they would have to have a new infrastructure for social services. And that's what they're trying to avoid. So it's a self-inflicted low birth rate. It is a low birth rate, but these girls ain't broke. Like, it ain't that they can't get pregnant, it's that they won't get pregnant. And a lot of things about pregnancy also is based on economic ability. Keisha wouldn't have as many kids if Uncle Sam didn't provide housing for her to be irresponsible. It's just, and Karen, don't forget Karen, you know what I'm saying? Because Karen is Keisha's God. Keisha, y'all God. Y'all black woman is God niggas. But Karen is Keisha's God. You know who Keisha don't like? Becky. Because Becky does life right. She think Becky is part of the supremacy team. Anyway. But this ain't even about Keisha and them. So I rebuke you, Royce, for making me talk about black chicks, because today is not about black chicks at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get away from that because we already established that girls are dumb. Today we're talking about birth rates globally. So, boom, we saw that. South Korea, they have low birth rate. It's 0.7%, which is crazy. That shit is bananas, bro. 0.7. The only 0.7 I want to see is a quarter ounce, my nigga. You understand? That 0.72, nigga. That's the only 0.7 I want to see is, man, give me that quarter. Any other 0.7, that's crazy low. Anyway. Shit, niggas don't even want to see that shit. Niggas want to see the 3.5, nigga. Niggas don't even want to see the 0.7. Anyway, the fuck is a 0.7? A teller? A 16th 1.6. No, a 0.7 is a nickel bag. My bad. Alright, that's a fat nick. 0.7. Damn. I don't even want to see a 0.7. I don't want to see a 0.7 nothing. That's crazy. I had to remember I was a man for a minute and men know how to count, no? Anyway. So check this out. In other news, in China, check out what's happening in China. You know what though? I'm not even shocked. I'm not even shocked. My shit freeze no more. I'm not shocked. Let's get it. I just want to pause this for a minute because I noticed this when I was doing the thumb tabs too. I just want to pause real quick and say this. Whether it's the Asians, because the thumbnail is Koreans, but these are Chinese people. They look exactly like the picture, my nigga. That shit is crazy. Like when y'all look at Japanimation and all that shit, these people like real life look like a filter, like a Asian filter. This is crazy. All the time I was looking for pictures, I thought I was looking at mannequins, dog. I swear to God. I thought all these girls were mannequins. These are real people, but they all look just like the Barbie dolls, bro. That is crazy. No wonder black girls use 15 filters. That's crazy, bro. But anyway, that's not important. It's just something I saw. I was like, yo, they look just like anime, bro, or like the AI pictures of them. That's crazy. Anyway, keep your ling ling in your pants, Shadrach. Keep your ling ling in your pants. Let's go.
City, there are so many women that the men are forced to have 3 mistresses and don't work. Dongguan in China is known for 2 things. Firstly, its production of technological objects such as iPhones and iPads, and secondly, its reputation as the sex capital of China. As a result of the country's long-standing one-child policy, the male-female imbalance has become so great that it's not uncommon to see men with 1, 2, 3, or even 4 wives. And everyone thinks it's normal. On the other hand, contrary to what we hear here and there on TikTok, it's not a question of roommates or saving costs. In fact, since local companies prefer to hire women whom they find more reliable than men, the women have a lot of money while the men have a lot of free time.
I'm going to play this whole thing, but I want to bring it back because, yo, they do all look the same. But everybody say all black people look the same too. And they used to before all the Keishas got fat. I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to play the whole thing. It's another half to it. It's only a minute now. I'm going to bring this first 30 seconds back because I want to tell you guys that being a Pookie is a global phenomenon, my dude. It's a global phenomenon. A small amount of men having 3-4 women is a global phenomenon, and they really all do look like Barbie dolls, bro. That is crazy to me. They all look like AI chicks. This is a real photo. That shit is crazy to me. Hood said that's a salty balls voice. It is a salty balls voice. That's crazy. Anyway, I want to break down the Pookie phenomenon, then I want to break down the feminism phenomenon. All these things are based in feminism, but feminism is a globalist thing. Karens all around the world. Karens all around the world bringing a new world order. You know what I'm saying? Bring it back a little bit, just a little bit. Then we're going to listen to the men talk about how feminism turned them into Pookies. That's a spoiler alert.
In this city, there are so many women that the men are forced to have 3 mistresses and don't work. Dongguan in China is known for 2 things. Firstly, its production of technological objects such as iPhones and iPads. And
okay, so the men who work there, they have jobs, so you know they probably ain't got no women. You know, the employed men in this city probably don't have women because all the bums getting the women. Do you see how feminism makes Pookies? This is why I'm showcasing this. You work at the post office or Comcast, you talking about some women don't want me, but they want Pookie. Yes, everywhere in the world they want Pookie, my G. You know what I'm saying? That's why no matter what I accomplish in life, bro, I'm keeping all my money secret, nigga, and I'm gonna just be a gangbanger until I die. Dirty folks 2024, nigga. All that. Oh, I know OakSummers. He writes books and no, nigga. Oak is for the employed public, for white people. For y'all colors get dirty folks 24/7 because y'all don't even appreciate niggas that read past the 3rd grade level, nigga. So anyway.
And secondly, its reputation as the sex capital of China. As a result of the country's long-standing one-child policy, The male-female imbalance has become so great that it's not uncommon to see men with 1, 2, 3, or even 4 wives, and everyone thinks it's normal. On the other hand, contrary to what we hear here and there on TikTok, it's not a question of roommates or saving costs. In fact, since local companies prefer to hire women whom they find more reliable than men.
Let's pause right there. Whether or not women are more reliable than men, I totally discount that, especially in America when you're dealing with the Keisha. But I will say this. Because of the Equal Opportunity Act, black women being double minorities, and every check on that paper being a deduction for corporations, it's just economically sound to hire black women. A black woman with a child and a degree on SNAP benefits or some type of SNAP benefit or public assistance, which all of them. All these teacher bitches got jobs, got degrees, got kids, and they get housing vouchers because they got too many kids for a teacher salary. So, in that example, that's 4 check marks. And if she over 40, that's ageism. That's 5 check marks. That means not only do they get a check for no money down because they get a tax break on every check, so that covers all 4 quarters. The 5th check, if she over 40, that's a rebate, my nigga. They getting a rebate. So now you looking at this and you wondering why they hiring black women. Because hiring a black woman is slavery. The girls want to be slaves. That's why they only loyal to their employer. I want to be their employer and I want to make you their employer so we can have slaves like the whole rest of the world does. The whole world does. Anyway. So they say women more reliable, even though women are real life, they are
hire women whom they find more reliable than men. The women have a lot of money while the men have a lot of free time. On local TV, AE, an unemployed man says that it's easier for him to find a woman than a job, and that he simply preferred to find a woman to pay his bills rather than a job. He also adds that over there, if you only have—
Hold on. Ain't that some Pookie shit? Hey, I was watching a video earlier, and it was talking about some truck driver.
one wife rather than a job.
Break it back a little bit. Some truck driver bitch, all she gonna be able to do is find a nigga that need a couch to lay on. Yo, I'm telling you, feminism creates Pookies, man. Y'all be like, Pookie lazy. No, Pookie ain't lazy. Pookie changed the dating market, my nigga. He smartened up, opened the market up. 1 wife, 2 wife, 3 wife, 4. In 16 months, 20 wives more. Now you all looking at a 20 wife dude. Hey, if it's a nigga over there with 20 wives, bro, he the GOAT. Anyway, let's see.
Have a lot of money while the men have a lot of free time. On local TV, AE, an unemployed man says that it's easier for him to find a woman than a job, and that he simply preferred to find a woman to pay his bills rather than a job. He also adds that over there, if you only have 1 wife, people laugh at you and find it inconceivable. Over there, it's normal to have several girlfriends. It's almost a social pressure. As for the women, they don't seem to be bothered by the situation because they say they prefer these arrangements to being alone. So, are you moving?
No, I am not moving, dog. I'm not moving. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to move. But, so, what's going on in Korea is going on everywhere. There's a shortage of men in the global economy. So even when girls say the grass is greener and all that shit, it's way more women globally than there are men. And those women aren't reproducing. And they're making men who would normally go through the process of starting in the mailroom and working their way to the boardroom, because women are supposed to be your inspiration. They're supposed to be your inspiration. You're supposed to want to swim the deepest sea and climb the highest mountain and lasso the moon. For a girl, she's supposed to be your inspiration to greatness. Even when you play sports, for those who ever played sports, even on a high school level or a grammar school level, you show out when them girls show up, nigga. That was wrong, but y'all show out when them girls show up. Be at the park playing ball. Nigga been calling you a bitch ass nigga all the time, man. Come on with your bitch ass. So when some girls show up, you ready to fight if he say the same thing, man. Girls inspire you to greatness. Well, they supposed to. But these girls ain't natural. These girls are the new normal. Totally different. Totally different. So now they inspire men to complacency, which brings in a new world order, which is basically, and we got videos about this, but they don't Rumble because I take them off YouTube, that the new world order is basically put women and gays in charge. That's the new world order. That's their master plan. All of the think tanks in the world, they went to Switzerland, and what they decided was if they want to take over the world, they got to put women and gays in charge. So women and men who think like women in charge. So they bringing men down globally to complacency. So you can't even really be mad at Pookie though. You just gotta roll with it. Well, you can still be mad at him. I ain't gonna tell you, but don't be mad at him. But it's gonna be slavery. Gonna be so easy, bro. Slavery gonna be so easy. Who gonna stop us? Who gonna check me, boo? So I found this interesting. You know what? Let me clear the palate. Let me clear the palate real quick. We're about to switch gears because we already covered what Elijah wanted me to cover about the low childbirth. I want to get into statutes. Because statutes is a corporate thing, and I'm all about corporatocracy. I'm going to prove without a shadow of a doubt that statutory sex, if she bleeds, she breathing, baby. Grab your 13-year-old. If she bleeds, she breathing. And America agrees. And that actual children and grown women are seeing the exact same way. They're seeing the exact same way. I'm about to prove unequivocally by the statutes of the law that they treat adult women and small boys the exact same way. They both toddle. Let's take a quick break. I ain't gonna take no whole break. Let's take a quick break just to clear the palate. Coming right back. Support No Soap. Dirty folks. Dirty folks. Dirty folks. No Soap.
Let's cut to the chase.
Yeah, let's cut to the chase. I ain't gonna play the whole way. I just want to clean the palate, man. Let's go to something else. I want to talk about. You know what? I'm gonna let her talk about it. Let's go.
Single and over 30, you are called 剩女, which means leftover woman in Mandarin. In Cantonese, you are called 羅底橙, 賣剩蔗, and 攝做辣, which means orange at the bottom of the basket, the sugar cane that didn't get sold, and the thing used for filling the gap of the stove. But if you're a man, single and over 30, you are called 钻石王老五, which means a diamond bachelor in Mandarin. In Cantonese, you're called 笋盘, which means quality real estate. In China, if you're a woman, single and over...
In China, I want to bring this down because before y'all be like, oh my God, Chinese people are so cruel. I'm going to show you how they did the same thing in America. But America switched it so these goofy bitches can keep spending your money. But in China, if you're a woman, single, and over 30, what they call you, mommy?
Over 30, you are called 剩女, which means leftover woman in Mandarin. In Cantonese, you are called 羅底橙, 賣剩蔗, and 攝做辣, which means orange at the bottom of the basket, the sugar cane that didn't get sold, and the thing used for filling the gap of the stove. But if you're a man, single, and over 30, you are called 钻石王老五, which means a diamond bachelor in Mandarin. In Cantonese, you're called 笋盘, which means quality real estate. In China,
called quality real estate. Let me explain something to you guys. Before you think that's some foreign concept, let me say globally, women are supposed to be married before 25. Even in America, everybody except black women understand that. White women get married in college. They have whole graduations where all the white women are showing their wedding ring, their engagement rings at their graduation, and all the black women are showing a newborn baby at their graduation. Look it up. Anytime you see a picture of a white girl graduating from college, she has a wedding ring because every other race of woman goes to college to find a husband. Black girls go to college so she won't need one, right? So everybody else leaves college with a man. Black girls leave college with a degree and a baby. The crazy thing is they leave high school the same way. It don't matter if it's a high school or a college graduation picture. It's going to be a baby on a black girl lap. It's like you come with the cap and gown. But every other ethnic group understands before 25, find a husband. If white girls leave college without a husband, they fighting hard to find a husband before they turn 28. If they don't have a husband by 30, bro, they just become feminists. It is what it is. Except black chicks. Black chicks think they got to 50. They think they got to their last goddamn ovary to find a man. They think they're going to become the man that they want to be, that they want to date. They want to be the nigga they want to date, then find a man that outman them. Ain't nobody got time for that shit, bro. Fuck these hoes. But in America, you ever heard spinster, an old maid? That's what they would call them in America and in England. Nobody wanted an old hoe, nigga. Nobody wanted an old hoe. The reason that they had statutes for sex is because at one point in time you can get married. I'm about to play the video, but you can get married young. I'm not going to even say how young. I'm going to let the video tell y'all. But what ended up happening was there were too many 25-year-old around the Great Depression, around the 1930s, all going into the 1940s. There were so many single women, and the men who were around their age. A 25-year-old man don't want no 25-year-old woman who already set in her ways. He wants somebody young, palatable, so he can teach her. Girls be like, coach. They be, man, want a coach. Don't worry about that coach shit. A coach is a teacher. Nigga, take that shit as a compliment. Goddamn right I want a girl like a coach. Goddamn right I want a girl like a groom. Goddamn right I want a girl I can instruct. What the fuck I'm gonna do with an old dog that can't learn new tricks? You just a trick at that point. So everybody is on this shit. It is a natural law thing. I want to show y'all guys this article. I wish there was a video to this, but I'm gonna show you guys this article. Make it a little bit bigger. Spinster, old maid, or self-partner. While words for single women have changed through time. I'm just gonna read a little bit of it. I ain't gonna go full into it. I just want to get y'all to understand that it's not normal, it's not natural to holler at bitches that's 35 years old. A 38-year-old grandma looking for love is not. Just know. Just know. But good for sex, not good for much else. Anyway, in a recent interview with Vogue, actress Emma Watson. Oh, Emma Watson from Harry Potter. That's Emma? That's crazy. Emma a feminist though. She ain't gonna have no kids. Anyway, in a recent interview with Vogue, actress Emma Watson opened up about being a single 30-year-old woman. Instead of calling herself single, however, she used the word self-partner. What the fuck is self-partner? Girls just be freestyling shit. They be marrying themselves. Anyway, I've studied and written about the history. Wait. Alright, no, it's not her yet. I've studied and written about the history of single women, and this is the first time I am aware of self-partner being used. We'll see if it catches on, but if it does, it will join the ever-growing list of words used to describe single women of a certain age. Women who were once called spinsters eventually started being called old maids. In 17th century New England, there were also words like thornback, a sea skate covered with thorny spines, used to describe single women older than 25. I'm calling these bitches thornbacks from now on, bro. I'm gonna just go to a girl and call her a thornback. I'm gonna make it sound romantic too, like, man, what's up, baby? I promise you, bro. Hold on, where my camera? I'm telling y'all. Hold on, where my camera at? I'm gonna start going up to girls like, what up, mom? You wanna be my little thornback? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Be my little thornback. I'm going in, bro. I'm taking Thornback, bro. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing Thornback back. Anyway, that's crazy. Thornback is hilarious. Attitudes towards single women have repeatedly shifted, and part of that attitude shift is reflected in the names given to unwed women. The rise of the single woman. We're just going to get through this chapter. Before the 17th century, women who weren't married were called maids, virgins, or puella. Puella is the Latin word for girl. These words emphasize youth and chastity. That's something you don't get in the black community. Youth and chastity, nigga. You don't see that? That's crazy. You might get youth. You ain't gonna get chastity. These girls ain't chaste. They losing their virginity at 12, money. Anyway, These words emphasize youth and chastity, and they presume that women would only be single for a small portion of their life, a period of pre-marriage. By the 17th century, new terms such as spinster and single women emerged. What changed? The numbers of unwed women, or women who simply never married, started to grow. So, I'm going to read it. And then I just want to go to why they get spinsters. Okay. New terms were needed for adult single women who might never marry. The term spinster transitioned from describing an occupation that employed many women, a spinner of wool, to a legal term for an independent, unmarried woman. Right? The same thing, real quick. Matter of fact, the same thing goes for Old Maid, right? Old Maid, women were spinsters because they spun wool. That's how they took care of themselves. Right, cool. Old maids were women who were maids in other people's homes. They didn't have a family, so they'll take care of your family. You know what I'm saying? All these things are categorizations of employment status because women always love titles. Women have always loved titles. It wasn't until spinster became a bad title that girls didn't like it. They were spinners. You called her a spinster, they thought it was a compliment. You called her a maid, that's what they were. Now you're an old maid. Oh, you put old on it. I'm forever young.
I'm gonna title forever. I'm a forever title. Don't call me an old maid. I'm a young in spirit maid.
Tyler's gonna talk. So today's version would be what? You would call her a CNA? That's what we'll call them. I'm gonna call them thornbacks. But a proper thing would be called them CNA. If you go by their profession of them being perpetually single, be a CNA or working woman or single woman is what they call them. Working woman, whatever the case. But working woman has a negative connotation because it alludes to prostitution. But all these bitches prostitutes. Now I think about it. Working women. They working women. They all prostitutes. Anyway, so what the Asian woman was talking about, how there were negative connotations for women not married by 25. That is a global thing. It's not natural for a woman. Once a woman's titties stop being perky and she needs a push-up bra, she's off the market globally. That's a global thing. The only difference between the rest of the world and America is that these liberal men, and black men being the most liberal of them all, but white guys are liberal too. These liberal men don't enforce the training of their toddler. So these bitches just buck wild until they just useless to society for anything except employment fodder. But this is a very short video. We're going to break down to statute. Because the higher they raise the statute, the less likely it is for boys to work or girls to get married. A statute is a bad thing. Y'all think it's good. Like, look, there's a statute for smoking that you can't smoke till 18. I remember being in high school and kids smoking in high school. The statute didn't help. The fact you could write yourself a note at 11 years old, like, my mama sent me to get some cigarettes. The statute didn't stop anything. I smoke now, but I ain't started smoking until I was 26. Stressed out over a court case. Start smoking it in jail. I ain't even go to prison. Nigga, I'm in jail trying to fight a case. That's how I picked up smoking. I was 26, nigga. But I knew niggas that was smoking since 14, nigga, in the staircase. Drinking gin, cheap ass gin too. Drinking gin, smoking squares in the staircase, listening to Snoop Dogg's rolling down the beat, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice, and they be drinking gin and smoking squares in the hallway, nigga. I remember that shit. Anyway, I mean in a stairway. Anyway, let's do a quick law lesson. And it's gonna blend perfect. Yeah, I remember smoking them clothes, bro. What they call them, beaties? I remember them beaties. Niggas thought they was real bougie with them beaties too. Like they sophisticated because they smoke beaties. I remember that shit. I have the cherry beatie. Anyway, I remember that shit.
what is statutory and common law, particularly in the context of contracts? Well, statutory law is law made by state legislators or U.S. Congress, but there are statutes that guide behavior, okay? And the implementation of the statutes carried out through generally some form of regulation.
Name pause, but let's see.
Behavior, okay?
There are statutes that guide behavior. They're not, well, they are laws, but statutes and laws are kind of different. They're enforced the same, but they're kind of different. Like peeing in the alley is a statute, but you can still go to jail or get a fine for urinating outside, like indecent exposure. It's a statute, but statutes are based on providence. They're not based on the Constitution. So they're not constitutional laws. They can always be changed or just omitted or ignored because they're statutes. But they are created to affect behavior. You can't drink in public. You can't just be outside drinking beers, walking up the street. There's a statute for behavior, right?
Or U.S. Congress, but there were statutes that guide behavior, okay? And the implementation of the statutes carried out through generally some form of regulation that may be passed by some administrative body that oversees the implementation of the rules or laws, such as the Securities and Exchange Commission or the IRS or something like that. So the regulations come after that. The statutory law are the substantive laws that are put out to guide some course of conduct. Okay?
So we got what a statute is, what a statute law is. Statutory sex. I don't like to use the R word because it's consensual sex. There's just a statute on it. There's an age restriction on sex to regulate your behavior to the point that y'all think is wrong. I remember being 16 fucking with these niggas. I was 20. True story. They 20 and 21 or 20 and 22. There was two brothers. Marvin and Jukis. Rest in peace to Marvin. I don't know what happened to Jukis. We used to play football in the street. So it'd be tag in the street, tackle on the sidewalk. And we like 15, 16 years old. So these old ass niggas come through and want to be artificial quarterback, right? They ain't play with us, but they want to be quarterback. And I remember there was this girl, she was about 15. We 16. This girl was 15. She was walking up the street. She had a fat ass nigga. Oh my God. 15-year-old girl with a fat donkey. And we all looking at her. And the older cast was like, damn, Shorty thick as hell. Like, Shorty. And we looking at him like, nigga, she too young for you. And that motherfucker said, if she bleeding, she breathing. We thought he was crazy. The older I get, the wiser they sound, bro. If she bleeding, she breathing. Cause she fucking something. Why not have sex with a nigga old enough? And I'm not promoting this, but I'm just saying on a logistical thought process. Why not have sex with somebody old enough to provide for you and a child that may occur from sex? You being 15 and your boyfriend being 17 and both of y'all ain't got a job and both of y'all ain't graduated from high school, but now you got a baby and the whole system has to set up daycares in the school so you can be with your baby is a drain on the taxpayer. Why not let her be with somebody who could actually provide? Is she already gonna sleep with people? I'm not saying that men should shoot their shot, but I'm saying if she gonna do it, she might as well do it with a motherfucker that could put a roof over her head. Instead of, once again, society having to use Section 8 to put a roof over her head. You feel what I'm saying? Like, all this shit is weird. Right? But anyway. So, since we know what a statute is, now I'm about to prove that the way that they treat 12-year-old boys is the same way they treat adult women. This is some dude. That's his name right here. Some dude. This is some dude that's about to teach us about child labor laws. All right? Child labor laws. Because a toddler is a toddler. Whether it's a young boy or any age woman, a toddler is a toddler. So when you listen to this, He's talking about boys being able to work. And tell me if you switch boy with adult woman, if this don't sound exactly the same. If you switch boy with girl, and you start talking about sex instead of work, because sex workers, all girls are sex workers. Tell me it don't sound exactly the same.
My name's Yahu Williams. I'm a historian, and here's what you need to know in order to sound smart about child labor. Children have been an important part of the labor force throughout human history. But in the 19th century, this became a problem due to industrialization, as children were exposed to dangerous working conditions. Employers, however, saw a huge benefit to the use of child labor. Children were smaller and more nimble, and so therefore could perform functions that would be more difficult for adults. In addition, it was more difficult for children to unionize, and employers could pay them lower wages than they had to pay adults. This, however, was a deep source of concern for reformers, who believed that children...
Let me pause it right there. The way he's structuring it makes it sound like child labor was bad. And he's going to talk about it wasn't bad until the Industrial Revolution. I think he already said it. But before then, farmers were having a lot of kids because they needed the kids to help them on the farm. Help them till the soil, help them reap the harvest, help them slaughter the cows and the chickens. So children have always worked. As a matter of fact, all the way into the 16th century, 16-year-old kids were conquering nations. You're very capable. America retards you, but you're very capable by 16. Here's the thing. He's about to get into the reformers now. So think about when he says reformers, once again, I need you to understand who used the term reformers. Women, right? They have a whole era called the Women Reformation Movement. The reformers were women. But they don't say that because you can't blame a girl for nothing. So women and cuckold men. That's who reformers are. But let's go.
Children were not only placed in jeopardy by virtue of this work, but that they also should be receiving an education instead. Reformers pointed to the horrible working conditions, the long hours, and the low wages that children received. In the 1840s, just as American reformers were having some success in limiting child working hours for native-born Americans, an influx of immigrants from places like Ireland provided a fresh supply of child labor for the burgeoning...
I let that slide, but it's eating at me, man, so I gotta address this, because it's eating at me for me to let that shit slide that he just said.
Long hours and the low wages that...
Right there, long hours and low wages.
The long hours and the low wages that children received. In the 1840s...
I want to say this real quick. Men were working 16-hour days at factories, 7 days a week, 7 days a week. They were getting no days off. It was some of the most horrendous working conditions. Men were losing limbs. That's why men unionized. And they unionized to get to an 8-hour work day, 5 days a week. They fought for that. Everybody worked long days. As far as them saying that they wanted kids to get an education, 70% of America are functional illiterates right now. And who's in charge of education? Women. So those reformers, here's the thing. Those reformer women who didn't want their children to work 12, 13-hour work days and didn't want in a low salary. Instead, they send them to schools that are built like factories. The work day had already been reduced to 8 hours. How long is your kid in school? 8 hours. Well, let's see. In Chicago, they go to school at 7:40. Let's say 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Come on, man. Or 8 to 3:30 in Chicago. 8 to 3:30. 7:40 to 3:30. 7:50 to 3:30. And they getting there as early as 7 something because they going for breakfast. Because these bitches can't cook. So the kids depend on school for breakfast and lunch. So they go to early school. They go early to get breakfast. Then they in school from 8 to 3:30. So from 7:30 a.m. if they get breakfast at 8, that's a work day. So what hours did they really reduce? And then for those of y'all who ever fuck with a single mother, y'all know that the daycare, like especially home daycares, they open at 6 a.m. These bitches don't even have to have a job, bro. They'll drop their kid off at 6 in the morning at the daycare and not pick them up to 6 at night. That's a 12-hour workday for the daycare professional. To the point that the daycare has to start telling bitches like, look, if you more than 5 minutes late, we charge you $15 a minute for every minute that you late after 6:05. Because these bitches will leave them there. Bitches will try to drop their kids off at the daycare and go to the club, my nigga. These bitches not give a fuck about their kids. They just want to cause chaos because these kids were useful for men. They're just horrible at being human beings. You want a 15-year-old girl with big titties? Or nope, you got to wait till she's 18. You want to get your son a job? Nope. You got to wait until he's 16 and then he can only work 4-hour days. After he just did 8, now he did a 4 work day shift at school and now he gets to work. So now he got a 16-hour day anyway. 12-hour day? None of this shit makes sense. Y'all just go along with it because it's a statute. No, none of this shit makes sense. But let's continue about these goddamn reformers.
Who believe that children were not only placed in jeopardy by virtue of this work, but that they also should be receiving an education instead. Reformers pointed to the horrible working conditions, the long hours, and the low wages that children received. In the 1840s, just as American reformers were having some success in limiting child working hours for native-born Americans, an influx of immigrants from places like Ireland provided a fresh supply of child labor for the burgeoning Industrial Revolution. Between 1902 and 1905, several organizations committed themselves to seeing an end to child labor in the United States. But it wasn't until the advent of the Great Depression that real change was on the horizon. With so many Americans out of work, labor unions and laborers began to clamor for an end to child labor to ensure that the adult working population would have enough jobs. This proved to be an important development.
Let's pause that right there. What stopped child labor was a depression because parents had to take care of their family. So kids had to stop working in order for adults to work. You know who else started working? Women. Women joined the workforce. So the sons couldn't work anymore, but the women did. Even today, do you really see kids working at McDonald's in liberal cities? In liberal cities. If you go to Dakotas, kids still have after-school jobs, but that's because the wages are lower. Any place that has a mandatory $15, $18 an hour, you don't see kids working at Walmart after school. You don't see kids working at McDonald's after school because those jobs are quote-unquote living wage jobs now. So grown-ass boomers take over kids' jobs and the kids still can't work. And every time there's a depression or a recession or there's something around the corner that's going to bring gloom and doom, they bring in more immigrants, which we're going through right now with these refugee cities, but I'll get to that later. But I'm telling you, bro, all this shit is a pattern. It's a plan. And if you peep the plan, you can adjust for it. But y'all niggas scary. Y'all react to shit instead of being proactive. That's why being proactive is going to be so easy to make niggas slaves. Slavery going to be so easy. Anyway, but let's listen to this last 30 seconds.
Lawmakers actually drafted legislation which ended the practice in the United States, limiting working hours and improving working conditions for young people. One of the lasting legacies of the battle to end the use of child labor is the importance of education. American reformers were able to make the case successfully that young people in a democracy needed to be educated in order to perform their civic duty. Young people in large numbers came out and joined what...
Okay. So he just told you about labor laws for children. Y'all heard it? Now, let's talk about sex laws for girls.
While the common thought in the United States is that being 18 years of age legally makes you an adult, nationwide there are different rules and statutes that apply to when a person can consent to certain acts. Because the laws can vary depending on the state or jurisdiction, this can create some...
I want to bring that back. The key word here is statute. Statute, the way that they force you to behave based on enforcing your behavior on the law. Only men though. Women slide through. You a 40-year-old basketball coach sleeping with a 16-year-old girl on the volleyball team, you're going to jail. You a 40-year-old teacher sleeping with a 14-year-old boy. If you don't get pregnant and he don't keep the coochie pics, you can sleep with that boy his whole life. or until you get too old and you need a new 14-year-old boy. Anyway, the key word is statute. You tribe, you make your own statute because you have your own constitution. But y'all got to take tolerology before y'all even get to the tribal shit. But I'm just giving y'all an intro to tribalism. Anyway, let's peep this out.
While the common thought in the United States is that being 18 years of age legally makes you an adult, nationwide there are different rules and statutes that apply to when a person can consent to certain acts. Because the laws can vary depending on the state or jurisdiction, this can create some confusion at the very least, or have legal consequences if statutes pertaining to age are violated. In this lesson, we will look at the history and some of the legal aspects regarding the age of consent. The age of consent is defined as the threshold for when a person can legally enter into marriage without parental consent, and the age that a person can legally agree to engage in sexual intercourse. This threshold applies to any person, but can vary depending on the state and age of persons involved. Age of consent laws have been in place for hundreds of years. Let's discuss a general overview of the history of age of consent.
Yo, this about to blow you. The age of consent all the way up into the 1940s. It's crazy, bro. But I'm on the pause because of fair use. But, bro, this shit is crazy, bro.
Laws. The early years. The age of consent first appeared in England in 1275 regarding maidens of age, which was about 12 years old. Later, in 1576,
So 12 years old. The age of consent was 12 years old, which goes back to when she's bleeding, she's breathing. We're also looking at a time before you guys, because don't use modern situations on ancient times. We're looking at a time in which men sold their daughters, as you should, right? You're supposed to choose. Girls don't know shit. They just do shit. No men allowed their girls to choose their own man because they love their daughters. They really love their daughters. They didn't hate themselves so much that they let their daughters find a man not like them. They look for a man to take care of their daughters, to take them from his covenant to her covenant. So at 12 years old, kind of like 12 years old, young. But yo, shorty might be 16, 18. Like everybody was getting married young. It's not like she 12 and he 80, even though he might be, I don't know, Hugh Hefner, but you know what I'm saying? Hugh Hefner and Brooke Shields, maybe. But generally speaking, they're around the same age. You're looking for a man like me and my friend. I told him, I said, man, you got a daughter. If I got a son, man, I want my son to marry your daughter. He said, bet. Because I know the character of the man he is. He knows how I am, and I know the kids will be straight. You know what I'm saying? They just arranged the marriage. So 12 years old sounds young, and it's not really young because girls is fucking at 12 already, nigga. Already. I remember girls 12 years old playing Catch a Girl, Freak a Girl, and House, and Doctor, and Show Me Yours, I Show You Mine. I remember that, man, clearly at 12 years old. A 13-year-old girl got them and tried to make me take her virginity when I was 11. Bro, they been busting just because she wanted a cherry pop because she heard her cousin got a cherry pop and was bleeding. And she wanted to get it out the way. Girls been fucking. So 12 years old, all right. But don't see it in today's lens like a 12-year-old is making her own decision because she wasn't. But that's the age of consent. For both genders, though. For boys and girls. So take it for what it is, right?
25 regarding maidens of age, which was about 12 years old. Later, in 1576, the law changed and it became a felony to abuse any woman under the age of 10, although less severe penalties occurred if the victim was 10 or 11 years of age.
There's still laws under the age of 10. One of the biggest arguments I have with black women, because they don't really understand how words work, is the difference between statute and pedophilia. Like when they was calling R. Kelly a pedo, and I was like, he's not a pedo, he's a statutory violator. And they're like,
you must be a pedo too.
I'm like, no, pedo is prepubescent. Like, statute starts at puberty. And there's still severe laws, even though the LGBT community is trying to stop them. There's still severe laws of dating kids under 12 years old, prepubescent children. They still try to protect prepubescent children even today. So that makes sense. So the laws that they made then are still on the books, and they're still very active. She's talking about don't abuse me. I'm under 10 years old. That's hilarious. I didn't even see that. Sell Ghost Soap with Becky. That's hilarious. Now I'm gonna go to Montana and do that. That's my next stop. Montana. I'm gonna sell sheep soap with Becky in Montana. That's how we're gonna work that. Anyway.
Although less severe penalties occurred if the victim was 10 or 11 years of age. In the 1930s, American support for the age of 16 began to weaken as girls in their teens gained new levels of social and cultural independence. The 1930s also saw a shift away from successful prosecutions for rape due to the victims describing being in love with their partners. The 1940s to 1950s again saw another shift, this time reducing punishments for offenders that were near the same age level as the victim, usually 2 to 6 years away from the age of consent.
Okay, so let me pause it right there, because this is what I learned arguing with chicks about the R. Kelly situation. On the books, in conservative states, so I ain't talking New York or Michigan. Michigan is a Republican state, kind of, but Detroit and Grand Rapids, they big cities are liberal. Kind of like Georgia, how Atlanta's liberal, but Georgia's Republican. But generally speaking, in states like Illinois, New York, California, the statute is 17 years old. There are states like Arkansas where the statute is 14 years old, but generally speaking, it's 16. So at 16, she can be with a 40-year-old man if she chooses to. But here's the kicker. She can be as young as 12 as long as the guy isn't 18, like he can be 17. She can still have sex with him legally. It's called the something law, the gap law or something like that, which is, if y'all really think about it, how many times in high school did you see the senior date the freshman girl? They'd be like, on the new. I remember that from high school. All the seniors dating the freshman. You know what I'm saying? That nigga 4 years older than her. So if he 4 years older than her, she 14, he 18. So legally he grown, but the gap law, or whatever it's called, I can't remember, I'm calling it the gap law, is why they could date. You say it's the Romeo law? No, the Romeo law is pimping, baby. That's a pimp law. That you get girls to be pros if she love you. That's what they trying to lock up. No, you know what? It might be the Romeo law. They trying to lock up dude over there in Romania for the lovers law or something like that. Not the Romeo law, but it's probably the same thing. Anyway, so yeah, bro. So there's a gap in there. So you could be 18, she could be 13. Well, you could be 17, she could be 12 or 13. A thick ass 13-year-old girl and you a skinny 17-year-old boy, and it still work. As far as the law goes. Because she got sexual autonomy. She got independence. You know what I'm saying? She's singing Madonna.
Papa don't preach. I'm having my baby.
I skipped a lot of words in that chorus, but don't worry about that. But yeah, she can scream Papa don't preach and get her cherry pop. It don't even matter. Anyway.
The modern era. As a result of the increasing influence of feminism in the 1970s, rape law reform further broadened age of consent laws and included males as victims. In the 1990s, welfare reform activists promoted claims that enforcement of age of consent laws could prevent unwanted or teenage pregnancy and decrease.
Hey, hold on. This is me. We can decrease welfare costs. That's Becky. I'm telling you, bro, it's something about the modern age that they are promoting interracial relationships at a rapid rate, bro. At a rapid rate. Y'all noticed all the Cheerio commercials? They never showed a black man with a white woman. They always show the black man with a biracial child, normally a daughter, because of the hair, you could tell. But they don't show the white woman. And they try to show black women with white men, but there's never in an intimate setting. They're just together. And they always show a black man in a whole relationship, like a marriage, with a house and everything, taking care of, I guess he a house husband now that I think about it. It must be in Iowa. Some bum nigga that fucked the white girl and got the kid, now he a house husband. But he always at home reading a newspaper or searching the internet or something, and a little biracial kid come like, Daddy, I want some Cheerios. They really promoting interracial, and this is the correct match. The correct match is a black man with a white woman. It's unnatural to see a white man with a black woman because you already know you never see the best and brightest white man with a black woman. You know what I'm saying? It just don't work. But, you know, it is what it is. But I thought this was crazy. This is a crazy optic, man. This is a crazy optic. But I'm going to bring that back because I missed the whole context looking at the color companies.
1990s, welfare reform activists promoted claims that enforcement of age of consent laws could prevent unwanted or teenage pregnancy and decrease expanding welfare costs. Current day trends reflect changes pertaining to consent for instances in which same-sex contact is involved.
Also, crazy optics. When they talk about gays, they always show two cute lesbians. They never show the crazy, well, she got purple hair, so you know she the crazy one in that relationship. But they never show you who you really scared of in the alphabet community. Nobody cares if two girls spit on each other. That's just being rude. Nobody cares about two girls spitting on each other. What dudes care about is a big burly truck driver with a full beard but no mustache, because you know they can't have a mustache because that's the official I'm gay thing, no mustache. They got a whole Abe Lincoln, no mustache, full beard, and a dress and purple hair. That's who you scared to use the same bathrooms. You're not afraid of two petite lesbian women, but that's who they always put on a podium. They have some lesbian chick talking about love is love, and everybody in America and around the world is like, oh, no, nigga. She's speaking for that big burly truck driver in a dress, my nigga. Nothing's more dangerous than an emotional man. So a man with a man size, but the mentality of a woman is the most dangerous creature on the planet, my nigga. The most dangerous creature on the planet. But y'all don't hit me though. Y'all be like, I could beat up a gay. Yeah, alright. I done had to fight 2 gays in my life, bro. And man, the first time that nigga hit me, I was like, he's still a man, bro. Like, bro, he jabbed me. I was like, damn, that shit hurt, nigga. You gay, nigga, but you punch like a dude, nigga. Like, I'm really fighting for my booty hole, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really fighting for my autonomy, nigga. I'm trying to keep my virginity, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn it. And they still men. That's who you worry about. You don't worry about 2 girls spitting on each other. But they always show you this optic when it comes to the gays. Never show you the dudes. Never show you 2 men kissing. But they show you 2. Straight men will watch lesbian porn, my nigga. Straight men will watch lesbian porn. Nobody cares about 2 girls spitting on each other. But that's what they show you. And they be like, love is love. Anyway. Always some crazy bitch with colorful hair. A color that no mammal on earth has. No mammal. Fuck no human. No mammal. There is no mammal with purple hair. There is no mammal with green hair. That don't exist. They don't exist. The closest is a mammal with orange hair, but that's an orangutan, right? No purple-haired mammals. Not an otter, not a cow, nothing. There are no purple-haired mammals. Birds are not mammals. I can't remember what birds are, but they call it something else. They're purple-haired birds, green-haired birds. There's no green-haired mammals. No green-haired mammals. Not one. Green-skinned mammals. Green hair? No. Anyway, crazy bitch. When you see a crazy colored hair bitch, just know she taking in all 3 holes and she bisexual. You see a bitch with a purple wig, just know she bisexual and she taking in all 3 holes. Roll with that. Use that information as you wish. If you think crazy girls got the best coochie, shoot your shot, my nigga. Give her an alias. Give her alias and a Google phone number because she will fuck up your life because she got green hair. But if you think this green hair bitch is crazy enough to have snapper puss, go for it, bro. Go for the gold, man. Go for the gold. Anyway, crazy bitches.
Expanding welfare costs. Current day trends reflect changes pertaining to consent for instances in which same-sex contact is involved. Laws differ from state to state regarding the age of consent. To further complicate matters, restrictions based on an age difference of a few years can mean the difference between being charged with no crime, a misdemeanor, or a felony. Let's look at Utah, for example. In Utah, a person is considered a child until they reach the age of 14. Then they're considered a minor once they're older than 14 years of age, but younger than 16. Although they can't consent to sexual intercourse, the law does change if the defendant in a criminal proceeding has less
than 4 years old. All right, so this is what happened, man. This is a 6-minute video. It was a great video. It was the best video I saw on it. But what ended up happening is this is on study.com. Study.com is an education site. They give you the first 3 minutes and then you got to pay for the site. I thought about it, but it was $59 a month. I was like, man, I ain't that serious about showing y'all the 6-minute video. So I downloaded the 3 minutes that they let me have. So that's that. But y'all get the gist. That the longer your lifespan is, the higher they try to make the statute, because the dumber the girls are. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I've seen black girls say that the statute should be 25. And I'm like, shorty, you can get your master's degree at 24. You can get your doctorate at 26. You telling me you could be a doctor before you know what you want to be in life? You could be a doctor before you believe that you're eligible to have sex. So you're saying at 25, you're supposed to be a spinster. You're saying that, man, girls shouldn't even be able to consent to sex on their own until spinster age when they already got a doctorate degree? This is what you're dealing with when you're fucking with these toddlers, man. Now, with that being said, the excerpt that I showed you guys about the statute of sex, how
Hey champ, hey dad self, before you know it.
That's not that much different than the laws that they created for the statute of work for the youth, right? The same time frames. Everything they said, that's why I showed you that first. Everything they said about labor laws for the youth, everything from the time and dates from happening between 1900 and 1905, then going to the 1940s, they had real reform. Everything they said about children being able to work is the exact same thing they said about girls being able to fuck. Women and children are the exact same thing. That's why they say women and children first. Because women and children are the same thing, because women are children. Women are children. Why y'all see them as adults is why you be so frustrated. I used to be frustrated too, but I thought just because she's 5 years older than me, she should be, or at least close to my maturity level. No. A 12-year-old boy is somewhere trying to figure out how to get his 36-year-old mom a house. She had 36 years to figure it out and couldn't figure it out. He 12 years old. He got peach fuzz on his nuts. He ain't even reached full puberty. He ain't even got to the age where his dick get hard for nothing right in the middle of class when the teacher called him to the board. He ain't even reached can't control my dick age yet. He trying to figure out how to buy his mama a house. Men are just better than women at everything. If men can have kids, we'll be better at that. Men are better than women at everything. The reason these women on top is because men allow it. And not only do men allow it, but there's some men in charge that want to stay in charge, so they put women as a buffer between men and them. That's just facts. If you live in a segregated city, like I live in Chicago, but you got New York, you got Boston. Boston's real segregated too. Have you guys ever noticed that there are white communities and there are black communities, but there's a buffer, the Mexicans? So it'll be white, Mexican, black. White, Mexican, black. I don't give a fuck if it's only 2 Mexican blocks in that bitch. It's going to be a Mexican buffer between white and black. What they're doing now is they're trying to switch Mexican with woman, and they're trying to say rich, woman, rest of the world. Because they know women going to close the door on manhood because they hate men. But they love men who give them power. So you got to be in the position of authority. You got to be seen as a position of authority. Being black ain't it, nigga. Because black is for women, gays, and felons. So as long as you yelling black, you're subservient to women, gays, and felons. Once you decide this rebrand is right for you and you eligible for it, you will see your whole life change, nigga. They'll be like, bitch be coming up to you like,
I ain't dealing with no black man.
So I ain't black. I'm Irkian. They be like,
Oh my God, you a special type of nigga. I'll suck your dick.
Look, girls just love logos. They just love sucking logos dicks. But yeah, take y'all tolerology, man. I want to show y'all this though, because I want to prove furthermore that how linked children are to women, because they the same motherfuckers. You, as a man, y'all good. Look, watch this. By the way, like and sub, man. Like and sub. If it's in your heart, donate to the daycare, man. Donate to the daycare. You know what I'm saying? It's good for the soul. Make sure y'all like, though, man. Y'all going in and out, in and out. Make sure y'all sub, man. You know what, bro? I hope you put your nickname on here, man, because I don't even say your name, man. And I hope you use your name. All right. Thank God you use your real your name, nigga. Thank God. All right. Shout out to the black guy for the $20 cash out. Gratitude, sir. Gratitude. I don't want to use your real name because we doing a whole show, nigga, about statutes. So I ain't gonna say your name, nigga, because that would be, hey man, that is not the right name for a show about statutes. Shout out to the black guy though, man. I really appreciate you, bro. I really appreciate you. Oh, that's you, Sigma. Oh, that was Sigma. Alright, shout out to Sigma. Alright, Sigma, shout out to you, man. God damn it. I ain't gonna say your name. You heard me say, man, I hope you put this nickname on here. Y'all heard me say that shit, nigga. I ain't gonna even say your name, bro. God damn it, god damn it. Shout out to Lord Blackstar for the $10 cash. He said, men are awesome. Men are awesome. Oh, matter of fact, man, you know I gave you the wrong shit. Sigma, I gave you the wrong shit, man. You get $20 and up, man. You get the $20 and up, bro.
Men used to be men. Now you millennial motherfuckers running around worrying about what women think and how they feel and apologizing and shit. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, man. $20 cash, man. Goddamn it, man. Don't worry about these hoes, nigga. Tyler's gonna talk. Alright, so let's check this out.
It'll be time for you to go out there and get a job. Because I'm growing up so fast? No, it's because states across the country are rolling back child labor protections. Why? Because we're telling them to. Who are you? A think tank based in Florida, and we're their lobbying arm. We've had a lot of success among Republicans to relax regulations that keep kids from working long hours in dangerous conditions. Meanwhile, we're trying to crack down on child labor violations. These new laws could endanger kids, especially undocumented ones who arrive in the US without their parents. Hey, do y'all want to stay for dinner? As long as he's putting the food on the table.
Let's bring this one back, man, because y'all ain't see the beginning. But basically, there's a million of these motherfuckers. So there are all type of people talking about, especially teens, talking about how they're rolling back the child labor laws so you can be younger to work. And you can be an illegal. That's why Biden is letting 500,000 people, man, become temporary citizens so they can take your jobs because they want these children to work. How many times did you see kids in a cage during the Obama administration? But they never mentioned this shit. The kids got to stay, but the parents got sent back to South America, wherever they were from. There's a lot of undocumented kids without parents out here. He said our Nigerian women crossing the border this week. That's hilarious. I don't know, bro. I remember they had all them Nigerian women under that viaduct bridge in Texas for a minute. I don't know if the Nigerians are still trying to. No, they weren't Nigerians. Those were Haitians. Those were Haitians. But I know they had a bunch of black people under a bridge. I don't know if the Nigerians are sneaking in right now. They probably are, though, because Nigerians are sneaky. But let's play that back one more time, man, so y'all can get the full context.
Oh. Hey champ, hey dad self. Before you know it, it'll be time for you to go out there and get a job. Because I'm growing up so fast? No, it's because states across the country are rolling back child labor protections. Why? Because we're telling them to. Who are you? A think tank based in Florida, and we're their lobbying arm. We've had a lot of success among Republicans to relax regulations that keep kids from working long hours in dangerous conditions. Meanwhile, we're trying to crack down on child labor violations. These new laws could endanger kids, especially undocumented ones who arrive in the US without their parents. Hey, do y'all want to stay for dinner? As long as he's putting the food on the table.
Alright, so they're trying to roll back child labor laws. We got that, right? Zuma said good coochie on the way. He's like, good coochie on the way, that's hilarious.
Hell no. To the no. Yeah.
I'm bro, really? Really? That's what we doing? They hate me, y'all. They hate me. So apparently, I used all my Boston Globe credits, but just to eloquate, I'm trying to push reset. They gonna let me. I'm gonna trick them one of these times. They gonna let me in, bro. The name of this article, it's a video to it, but I can't see it because they keep blocking me. It's age of consent on the Republican chopping block. You know what? Let me see something, Tribe. Let me see if I can steal this video the same way I stole that video off of study.com. Let me see if I can steal this video. Because I want y'all to see the video, man. Because it sounds exactly like the other video. Hold on. Take a quick break. Let me see if I can see it.
Toddler tales are crazy stories that could only happen to me. Each tale is endorsed by Toddlerology and the Marry Your Secretary courses. In a world where toddlers are only loyal to her employer, learn the skills needed to train your toddler to work at your relationship like she works at her job. There's courses for every level of your relationship status, including polygamy. Need support? Join scheduled study groups with other Toddlerology members. Click the link below. And now, back to today's story.
Yo. These motherfuckers are some thieves, bro. Let's start. Let's see if there's a video for this. Maybe it wasn't a video. Maybe it was just an article. Maybe it was just an article, Tribe. Because I can't download the video. But the whole base is that there's an article that they won't let me steal. The Republicans are not only, because when they said think tank in Florida for rolling back the age of child workers, same Republicans, they're rolling it back the age of sexual consent as well, because the ability for a girl to have sex and the ability for a boy to provide for a girl to have sex always go hand in hand. They always go hand in hand. Let's see something real quick, man. I'm really trying to steal. Well, I ain't trying to steal. I'm just trying to offer content, man. I'm trying to offer the maybe I put up. I'm gonna take out women. Just put age of consent. I don't think it's it though, to be honest with you. Hold on, man. This has nothing to do. No, I ain't gonna play that. Anyway, they have a law that you can change the age of consent you do sodomy for anal sex. I think that's hilarious. I didn't know there was an age range you had to be in to get poked in the booty. I thought if you was gonna get poked, wherever you poke. Anyway, and this is what I'm gonna do, man. Oh, I'm gonna open up the chat, bro. That's what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna open up the chat. I wasn't. But, Face say, yeah, I'm in my StreamYard limit. That makes sense. You know what I'm gonna do? I ain't even gonna use StreamYard, because StreamYard be stopping my OBS anyway. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop the link. Unfortunately, we can only bring up one person at a time. It should be up to 5, but I ain't paid. So, if y'all want to come up, man, Click one if you want to come up, man, and I'll drop the link because I only give one person at a time. Click one if y'all want to come up, and I'll give y'all the link. Don't nobody want to come up. I won't worry about the link, but those that want to come up, I'll drop the link. One day I'm gonna pay for this. I might get 5 people. Our face say you got a quick story. Alright, I got you. I got you. So yeah, man, that was basically that's basically today's show for Elijah, man. The little homie Elijah asked me if the birth rate was really going down in Korea, if Koreans would be extinct. And it's just as much as not making it a statute. It's not illegal if they don't take birth control, but making a statute that they have to use contraceptive is why their birth rate is so low. I believe if they had more resources, though, that they would change the birth rate thing. They would just tell girls not to take birth control, and they could double their population in 20 years. So I don't really think it's as dire of a situation as people are trying to make it seem like. Because if it ain't nothing, look, girls can't do nothing. They can have sex, my nigga. It's the easiest job in the world for them. All they got to do is lay on their back. Girls lay on their back like breathing. You know what I'm saying? All right. What's poppin'? We got face backs in the house. What's poppin', pimpin'? Face, you with us? You know what? Let me check something real quick. Oh, I know why I can't hear you. Because I'm dumb. Alright, let's try it again. What up, Face?
Yeah, you get what about now?
Yeah,
Okay, there we go.
I can hear you. That's my bad, man. I forgot to switch screens. Alright, what's your story?
Nah, it's all good. Nah, with this migrant thing, there was a situation where I was dealing with some police at work, and this little girl was just basically wandering around, and she didn't speak any English. So they were asking her questions about where her mother was, and then ultimately she explained that her mother just left her to go to the club. Right? At first, they were only concerned with returning her to her mother. As soon as they found out that she was abandoned by the mother, and the mother went to the club, that's when they asked about where her father was.
I'm surprised they asked in, honestly.
Right, but they did it because now it's legal liability where they could charge somebody. So there was no interest in charging the mother if the mother was going on response. But once they found out that her father wasn't there, they were only concerned with like returning her to the mother again.
Wow. You know what? Because there's no penalty for toddlers, man. You got to bring penalty back. It's funny, man. I'm glad you said that, though. I ran into a immigrant myself, bro. I did something I don't normally do. You know what? Hold on, man. I'm tripping. I did something the other day I don't normally do. I normally catch a train, but I drive to the train station and then get on the train. Yesterday I actually caught the bus to the train. let me tell you something. On this bus, I saw an immigrant. This is how I know what you're saying is so valid, bro. They let these migrants just over, and what's so crazy is he had a box of M&Ms like this nigga was doing fundraisers or some shit. It was crazy shit. And the nigga annoyed me so much because he sat next to me. You know, everything made me upset because I don't like it. Oh.
Man, what you got in that bag, man?
Hold on. Let's see if I can make this better. These are the migrants that they got on these Chicago streets, taking resources, saying they want to make them citizens so they can get a job. Let me see. Where, do I got it on here? Do I got a window caption on here? Yeah, I got it on here. I've been over OBS so long, man, I forget how this shit work. Here we go. Oh, this is totally. That's some bullshit. I'm gonna show y'all this stuff. Alright, so shut the front door. Down. That didn't work. But check this out. I don't know how to make us mute in front of that, but check this out.
Man, what you got in that bag, man? Nigga, we rolls.
Look at this motherfucker, man. This nigga's on the bus. He done stole, not stole. That's not true. I ain't gonna call him a thief. But what he did was he took a bunch of cigarette butts from wherever he got them from. Now this motherfucker all smelly and uncouth, all leaning on me, sweaty and shit. God damn it. Why this shit ain't working? Sweaty and shit, trying to roll shit, bumping me and shit. Then wondering why I'm finna knock his ass off on the train, bro. Look, and you know where they live at? You know what, Face Fact? You know where they live at, right?
Yeah, probably a 5-star luxury hotel.
Nah, at the police station. So how you gonna call the police and they live at the police station?
Yeah, we're doing that. Forgot you in Chicago. In New York, they don't put them in a police station. They put them in 5-star hotels.
Yeah, y'all get hotels. You go past the police station, they at the police station. How you gonna call the police? Where they gonna take them home?
Yeah.
This irritating motherfucker.
But the reason they do that in Chicago is because they want to get funding to build new police precincts. They basically want to put the police station outside of city limits so they can monitor them with drones. And then they'll just send them into the city for like response. And then after they do what they do, they can basically leave the city. That way, when they have again, don't get me wrong, I know how the poll guys are, but they're starting to sue like the insurance that the police carry. So if the jurisdiction is outside the city, they can't sue the insurance anymore.
So they trying to send them with the black people, like, cause they already kicked out all the Section 8 people and they trying to move them outside the city. So they're gonna send the immigrants right with it. See, when other people pay for your housing, they can move you where they want to move you. So right, hey, But
Yeah, but if you don't vote for Biden, you ain't black.
I ain't vote for
And he
Biden.
was right.
I knew I wasn't black. That was part of it too, nigga. That was part of me not being black. I'm like, oh. But really, I'm not black because I don't like black women. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's why I'm not black. I was talking to my sister one day. This had to be about 6 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. And she just on the phone like, "You hate women." I'm like, "How the fuck you say I hate women? You fuck women, but you hate women." Now, this is my sister. She's somebody supposed to be obligated to love me. Your mother, your sister, they supposed. That's what they say, right?
Allegedly, yeah.
So I'm like, yo, if you're my sister and you saying I hate women, really you saying I hate you? So let me think about this. Let me sleep on it, right? I woke up the next morning. I said, yo, if the women that's supposed to love me say I hate them, I ain't gonna make them a liar, nigga. Let's make it happen. And then I started thinking about all this historically. That's why I say I hate what they are, not who they are. Historically, men have always subjugated their women in order to have a society. Any society that let women talk with clothes on has fallen. That's what it is.
Right, but is it really subjugation if you're protecting someone from themselves? You don't let your child play with the outlet with a fork. That's not subjugation.
Okay. One man's subjugation is another man's parenting. I agree with you. One man's subjugation is another man's parenting. Me disciplining my toddler, training my toddler in the street, you're going to have a bunch of niggas talking about, so, man, you can't do that. That's a lady. No, nigga, this is my child. But culturally, men have to understand that that's his child. You understand what I'm saying? So,
yeah, fully.
If my number 2 rule in life is not to get killed over a bitch, then that means that everybody got to understand that I'm disciplining my toddler.
Right, but you gotta understand too, a lot of it's projection. Because they don't understand what discipline is. Because a lot of, even with beating kids, the why is important a lot of times. Women will beat the kid because they had a hard day at work. A man will beat the child because the child is doing something that needs to be corrected.
Right. Not only that, women will beat their child in public, in school. Let the teacher call your parent. Woman will beat your ass in school, won't nobody say shit. Let a man do the same. They're going to be calling child protective services, all type of shit. Are you abused at home, young man?
Oh, don't get me started with that. There's even different limitations for what's considered neglect. A woman can send a child to school dirty, unfed, with bruises and injuries, and they'll just say things happen. A man is 5 minutes late picking up the kid. They'll call CPS, ACS, whatever it's called in your city. Talking about child abandonment.
Look, man, this is my philosophy. This has been my philosophy my whole life. Because everything's been my fault my whole life. Shit I ain't got nothing to do with. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to do with. Just the closest male is his fault. No matter who did it, the closest male is always going to be his fault. You can break under that pressure. You can. Pressure either going to crumble you or turn you into a diamond, right? I learned early on that none of this shit my fault. You just talking because you don't want to take accountability. But let's say it is my fault. If it's my fault, then it's my fix. So whatever I decide to do after you say it's my fault, deal with it. If you don't like, if you want to eat sausage, but you don't like to see how your sausage is made, maybe you should be a vegan. But I'm making sausage over it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I had that issue too. Because it was brought up in my case. They basically said, "Oh, you're not cooperative because you want to blame the mother." What I asked, I said, "Well, who's in charge? You put her in charge, so for everything that goes bad, it's her fault. I can't take the accountability if I don't have the authority."
And that's slavery. That's the definition of slavery. The responsibility without the authority is slavery. Do you really want to be slave to a bitch and a gay? So that's two different bitches, really.
Right. They'll eventually turn on each other. Like, all you gotta do is look at these women in sports. They got these transgenders, taking over their sport. Because that's what it really is. They know they can't compete with men. So they want to compete with women. But the women are so stupid that they think they actually have a chance of beating these gays.
That's not what they think. Because they know it's unfair. What they think is it's a sports, menstrual shit. It's a small price to pay in order to have a man who thinks like a woman as an ally to attack men.
Yeah, but they're going to find out is that they're not allies, and then they're ultimately going to attack them.
Girls will listen. Girls are dumb. They won't realize that until the Mongols are at the gate. You understand what I'm saying? You see them coming. I see them coming. Everybody see them. Gay men see them. Real gays. The real good gay men. I said good gay men. That's hilarious. But I mean, like, guys who just gay. Like, man, I go to work every day. I just like sucking dick, B. Like, that's your sexual preference. You rock on, bro. It's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? But you rock on. I don't have no problem with the Dwight Howard type gays. You know what I'm saying? You're still a man. You just have a sexual preference. I have a problem with niggas that play cosplay. Because now you're a toddler. And I'm not playing these toddler games with you. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Dudes that suck dick don't like transgenders, bro. Gay men don't like the cross-dressers. TC said Anderson Cooper gay. But yeah, Anderson Cooper gay. Like, real talk. Anderson Cooper gay. I don't mind. Some of the greatest conversations I've had about things that had nothing to do with sex were with gay white men. I don't like gay black men. But gay white men, I chop up a conversation. And the reason I don't like gay black men is because they emulate black women. And I don't like black women. So how the fuck if a man is better than a woman at everything, even being a woman, why do I want a Keisha 2.0 talking to me? But, that's just me.
Yeah. I had a friend said to me, he said if a black woman is talking to you longer than 5 minutes, she's trying to figure out how to rob you.
I'm thinking about that, bro. Not how, if. That's the word I switch. If, not how. So,
okay, I got you.
Way I would say it is, if a girl talks you more than 5 minutes, she's trying to figure out if she can rob you, not how she can rob you. She knows how she can rob you. Because bitches got more ways to rob a nigga than a freestyle battle, my nigga. Bitches switch the style and go. She's trying to figure out if she can rob you on the front end or if she got to give you pussy and maybe even the kid to rob you on the back end. She's still going to rob you. But she's trying to figure out if she can rob you, like right then. Instant gratification rob. Feel me?
Yeah, I can do it.
Like, I talk to girls, bro. And then I let her talk 5-10 minutes. And then all of a sudden she'll start going into stories about, you know what I'm saying, how she got her cousin to rob the dope dealer she was fucking with and how she was mad because her cousin hit her in the face with the pistol to make it look real. Bad bitches, bro. They all got a nigga robbed. They trying to figure out if they can rob me. And once they figure out they can't rob me, they tell me the story about the other niggas they robbed. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, even with that, the cousin hit her in the eye. That way, in case she decided that she was gonna snitch later, they gonna be like, "How you gotta do the perp with your eye messed up?"
They ain't gonna snitch because they was in on the jig. But my point is, You're right. I just say if because they're talking to see if they can rob you right then. Not how. They know how to rob you. They got 3-4 different swags to rob you. You know what I'm saying? Your job is to know this bitch is always trying to stick you up. Always. And move accordingly. Like, I will sleep with the enemy. But I know she's the enemy. You feel what I'm saying? There's a girl in every club USA, every strip club USA, there's a girl that will take you to the VIP room, pull your pants down, and suck you off. If you close your eyes for a minute, she's going to run in your pockets because you can't feel it in your pockets while your pants at your knees. And she's going to hit you while she's sucking you and then dip off. Every club USA. And then I know it's true because nigga, I was fucking the bitch. She was like, man, she's like,
why you got your clothes on? Why you just pulled your dick out the zipper? Take your clothes off.
Bitch, I ain't taking my clothes off for you, bitch. You got me fucked up. Because I ain't shit. When it comes to these bitches, I ain't shit. Because I know you ain't shit. And I'm matching your energy. And I stole the pussy because I'm a gangster. And I stole the pussy. Should have got paid for you fucking bitch. Now I stuff the services, nigga. It ain't grape. It's stuff the services. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. And that's why gangsters wear suits. That's why gangsters wear suits, like lawyers and politicians. And they put their wallet in the suit jack pocket on the inside. Keep it close to their heart and closer to their pistol.
Yeah, but I never thought about it, bro. But I would change the word to if. But I see where your boy. I see where he. I kind of see it. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of see it. I've been through a lot of shit, bro. These bitches are robbers. I'm thinking about it, bro. I'm gonna be fucked up. You know, it's gonna be the conversation I have with my guys later, right? How many bitches trying to rob me? That's gonna be my conversation. Hey,
right? Because my thing is, I get what you're saying with the if, but the if changes the how, and the how changes the if.
Man, shout out to Ken for the $25 cash app. Gratitude, sir.
Mama,
I ain't got no what's the name in here. I ain't got the thing in. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I'm gonna let you go because speaking of Tyler activity, I gotta make moves to get away from some Tyler activity on my end.
Hey, bro. Tribe up, nigga. Let the tribe handle it for you, man. I'm gonna take care of all the. Look, man. I want to say this real quick before you go, because I want to say this in front of fellowship so people understand what I'm saying. The only way you guys are gonna get out this jam, because we are in a jam. The only way you're gonna get out this jam is to support men with righteous hate, because love changes you. You change for people that you love. There's certain things you would say normally that you don't say because you love them. Certain actions that you wouldn't normally do that you do because you love them. Because only men can love. Receiving love back, don't worry about that. You do that because that's who you are. Love changes you. Hate changes the world. When you hate something enough that you want it to change, that's the person that you follow. When Donald Trump loves America so much that he hates every other nation, that's when things get done. He's one of the only two presidents in my lifetime, if I count Jimmy Carter as my lifetime, because his last year presidency was the year of my birth, that didn't wage a war. One of the only two in my lifetime. So that's in 50 years. I ain't 50 years old, but I'm saying in 50 years, only Jimmy Carter and Donald Trump didn't change war. Jimmy Carter, because he was a juice and berry dude, he ain't want no smoke. Donald Trump, because he loved America so much, he hated everybody else. It was like, man, we're going to close the borders, keep these people away. Man, your number one problem is training the top. That's your number one problem. Everything else stems from that. Everything else stems from that. There's a lot of great dudes who would be so much greater if their toddlers were trained. Whether it's their mother, their girlfriend, whoever. Their teachers. If their toddlers were trained. There's so many men that would be greater if they had the focus. You know how much money it costs to date? Being married is supposed to be way cheaper than dating. When did you become the cuck When did marriage become an expenditure instead of a time and money saver? It's a lot of shit that the new normal has taken away from the old natural. So in order to get back to that, man, you gotta try under a moniker of man. Everything that don't suit us needs to be burned off. You know what I'm saying? That's how you purify gold. You burn off the impurities. If you want to be gold, y'all want to shine, man, y'all gotta try and burn off the impurities. Everything y'all don't like is something that you can immediately change. Well, within 7 years, change. You don't have to. None of this shit have to be like this. None of this shit in America. None of this. I just showed y'all a whole video about statutes, and every statute is based on city and state. City and state. They're the feds just work on the Constitution. City and state make the statutes. That's why one state could be 14, another state got to be 17, another state 18, another state 16. It's a statute based on providence. There's places in America that let you be sovereign. Y'all drove past unincorporated places all the time. Unincorporated and such a... Bro, you can do your own thing a lot of places in America. You just got to get away from the Keishas. Keishas is holding y'all back. The Karens is holding y'all back too. The Keishas, but y'all don't fuck with Karens. Keisha and Karen holding y'all back from greatness, from being great Americans. Run off everything that don't suit you. Anyway, man, bro, I appreciate you sliding up, bro. Appreciate you sliding
up. Yes, sir.
Man, it's been real. Yeah, all right, hold on, man. I don't know how to hang up on you. You gotta hang up on yourself. I want to get Ken his proper due, man. Gratitude for the $25 cash app, sir.
Men used to be men. Now you millennial motherfuckers running around worrying about what women think and how they feel and apologizing and shit. It's embarrassing.
If anybody else want to come up before I get off, man, you know what I'm saying, drop a one in the chat. But look, you guys are, because America is rebirth, we're at a deficit of rebirth since birth control and all that. They're trying to replace the lack of a birth rate with immigrant workers, and everybody's doing it. That's why no matter where you go around the world, you will see 2 dudes from Chicago, 1 dude from Detroit, a Mexican for some reason with a taco stand. Even in China, my nigga, even in Japan, they got a taco stand. In a Nigeria, a whole group of Nigerians. No matter where you go in the world. 2 niggas from Chicago, a nigga from Detroit, a Mexican with a taco stand, and goddamn it, man, some Nigerians doing scams. No matter where you go on earth. I told my little mentee that he left Chicago, he went to South Carolina for boot camp. He joined the Marines. 2 dudes from Detroit, 1 dude from Chicago, met him at the lounge. Went from there to deployment to go to Japan. Before he went to Japan, he had to stop in Seattle. 2 niggas from Chicago, nigga from Detroit, a Mexican, right there. I guess he ain't pay attention to Nigerians because, he was still in the States. He went to Japan, Osaka, Japan, my nigga. The niggas that run the clubs down there, the nightclubs, 2 Chicago niggas, the motherfucker that run the car lot, a Detroit nigga. He's like, yo, it's a Mexican out here with a food cart, but they ain't selling tacos out there. They selling sushi for $1. And got them in Nigerians everywhere doing crime. That's a universal staple. So wherever you go, you're welcome. You're welcome. But everywhere else you go, they train their toddlers. And that's the training of the toddlers is why the birth rate is so low. In America, the non-training of the toddlers is why the birth rate is so low. Because they get incentivized to work, to have a title. And then the other ones, like most of the girls with kids in America are trailer park type chicks. But most girls don't even have kids because they want to be affluent in the world. They have 1 kid or something like that. America keeps their own population down, and then they bring in immigrants to the influx when all you have to do is tell girls to get off birth control and change the custody laws. You change the custody laws, men have more kids. If they have more control over their kids, you wouldn't hear about semen retention and protect your seed and all that shit. You'll hear about nuclear families because bitches know, like, I got to fuck the right nigga if I want the right nigga to take care of my kids. It wouldn't be stepdaddy season every goddamn season. Bunch of pregnant bitches on Tinder. Like, I'm 4 months pregnant, bro. I gotta use the voice.
I'm 4 months pregnant with my 3rd kid, but I'm looking for a real man. I'm not here for play.
Anyway. Ain't nobody dropping one, so I guess anybody else coming up, man. I appreciate y'all supporting the show today, man, on all levels, dog. Hopefully y'all learned something today, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be judging motherfuckers, because these bitches want to keep in the trick bag. They act like you can't fuck with a bitch more than 4 years from you, like you still in high school. Niggas 40 years old, goddamn it, and a 44-year-old bitch will tell you if you go under 35, you a Chester, nigga. That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. Don't worry about none of that shit. She bleed, she breathe. I ain't saying you should do it, because you ain't going to enjoy the music, the conversation. They going to get on your nerves. I ain't saying to go young, because they annoying. But I'm saying the option should be there, because she bleeding, she breathing. So, man, because none of this shit matter. They toddlers from when they get their first period until they breathe their last breath. They toddlers. As always, guys, love your brothers and love each other as you love yourself. Feed the pack. Tribe up. And be happy I got the audio right, baby.
Dale, you're one of the top 6 speakers of the past 8 years, but I hated you at first. Could you please mention the Dirty Folks podcast? Thank you, Lord Charles. Dirty Folks.
And see, I find it to be hilarious because even if I did behave like a teenager, I would be ahead of a lot of these B-dubs that want to make these comments, because a lot of you behave like toddlers. Shout out to my man Dirty Folk.
And it's because y'all niggas don't support. Y'all do support. Y'all support titties and pussy. Hey, shout out to Dirty Folk.
Men have sort of quietly begun to agree that even the most like off the wall extreme advice or takes that you get from some random guy on the internet is more useful than anything allegedly profound that you would hear from a trained black female professional. All right, like let's take a perfect example of this, right? The idea of Dirty Folks, when he come up and he says like women with clothes on, that is a way more useful notion to frame your mental state around than anything your black female therapist would ever tell you. Cause she's a woman with clothes on. Why the fuck would you listen to her? Like when he says that, it makes sense in a way that it just appeals to you. And it's something that your black female therapist could never match.
Yo, tribesman, the daycare is too influential to be so small. Do your big homie a favor, man. Like, sub, share, clip. I know I got at least 10 bars that can change somebody's life, man. Help me to help my brother. Love each other as you love yourself.